Hi guys, my name is Serge and you're watching Hex Gambling News, a channel that deals with news and events from the gambling world and everything that has to do around it. In this video, we'll talk about how cool it is to be a gambler if you live in Denmark and how it's not if you do not live in Denmark. Actually, we'll talk about how the EGBA is trying to point out the serious problems in the customer protection system in the European Union based on the recommendations of the European Commission and how nobody gives a shit about it, except from Denmark. Everything is cool in Denmark. So let's start from the very beginning. What is EGBA? Here's some info from their official site. The European Gambling and Betting Association, EGBA, is the Brussels-based industry body representing the leading online gaming and betting operations established, licensed and regulated within the EU. EGBA works together with national authorities, EU authorities and other stakeholders towards a well-regulated and attractive offer for the EU citizens. EGBA promotes the creation of a safe and reliable European digital environment for online gambling players. A well-functioning digital environment requires regulation that provides a high level of consumer protection and takes into account the reality of the digital economy and consumer demand. Blah, 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 blah. So basically, the EGBA is an online gaming trade body that cares about us, the bettors, the players, the gamblers. And I think when such people take care of us, we should be listening to their, advice and taking into account their information they provide, right? I would do so. So what happened? What was the problem? Well, back in 2014, the European Commission formulated a recommendation that dealt with customer verification, protection of minors, social responsibility measures, best practice, and of course gaps in the operating framework. The main idea of this recommendation was the protection of all online gamblers in the European Union. Well, since this type of recommendation isn't obligatory and doesn't oblige anyone to anything, well, not all countries took this seriously and didn't, find that it would be necessary to follow all the rules and the implementations from this recommendation. Well, in the end, all this recommendation that had been formulated came out to be only selectively. Let's compare Europe with a large family and the European Commission with an aunt that is looking after her, kids. Completely protective, nothing more and nothing less. And let's say they are on a ride on their bicycles and the aunt is like, hey kids, be careful, it's dangerous and anything can happen, you better wear your protection. And the kids act like complete assholes. Some of them wear the, knee pads, others wear the helmets, some others throw their bicycles off the cliff. I mean, some kids act like that, right? Only not in Denmark, because everything is great in Denmark. So the EGBA points out all the hell and chaos that can take place from this non-implementation of the recommendation with the help that was authored by Dr. Margaret Carran of City University London, and reveals an unharmonized and unequal marketplace with regards to online consumer protections which should be in place to safeguard player transactions and engagements. Publishing its latest report, the EGBA states that the European Commission's lead 2014 objective of protecting all online gamblers in Europe has not been achieved as a mandate due to substantial divergence in member state marketplace requirements which regards to underlying consumer protection. And you're gonna ask me, what the hell is going on here? Why do we have children gambling from 11 years old? Why are some countries allowed to play only after full verification and other countries don't give a shit? Why can people exclude themselves quickly and find themselves, healthcare? In France, some consumers are not able to self-exclude themselves after only 3 years after the initiation. And why in some countries, a third party can exclude you? Well, in short, this attitude of some countries towards these recommendations of the European Commission, which are very important to us, raises more questions than they have answers. And this is where the EGBA guys step in. Maarten Haijer, Secretary General of the EGBA, explained, because online gambling in Europe is regulated at national level, the level of consumer protection provided to players varies depending on where they reside in the EU. and this is entirely inadequate for what is an inherently borderless digital sector. Guidelines have proven insufficient, and we call on EU policymakers to act by introducing mandatory rules to ensure there is a consistently high level of consumer protection and uniform safety nets for all online gamblers in Europe. In other words, pick your shit up and get to Denmark, because everything is cool in Denmark, as I said before. In its report summary, the EGBA noted that the European Commission failed to deliver a proper review regarding gambling regulations and safeguards, while also noting the states that were processed in 2017. The study attributes this failure to the voluntary, non-binding nature of the guidelines and concludes the mandatory EU rules are needed to ensure a uniform, high level of consumer protection for online gamblers in Europe. Well, sometimes it happens that some things do not need to be served as recommendations, right? In my opinion, some of these regulations and recommendations should be implemented immediately and, make them mandatory and unified. And also introduce fines so that all the violators would be able to shit their pants if they violate the goddamn rules. What the hell? Because we all agree, consumer protection is a hella important thing, right? That's it for today, guys. Let me know how you feel about consumer services and what is your attitude towards it. In the comment section below, of course, I will be waiting for your comments. My name is Serge and you're watching Hex Gambling News. And as always, give us your likes, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell reminder for more cool videos. See you very, very soon. And as usual, always gamble responsibly. See you guys.